Splatterhouse. So it's like Haunted Castle. Yeah, game over. So this is Splatterhouse, the arcade version, being played on the Namco Arcade Pack. It's a cartridge on the Super NES. This is a physical cartridge I obtained from the Maryland Library System. It includes a number of, well, not terrible games. Well, most of the games in this collection are like they're super vintage, like early '80s, early Reagan era video games. I think every game in this collection, except maybe the last two, Tank Force is from '91, and Rolling Thunder I think is from '89. I'll double check that. These are basically like '80s Namco arcade games. This game, Splatterhouse, got a PC Engine port that I played on this channel about a year ago. It's probably my it's one if I had to give out medals for my least favorite TurboGrafx-16 games, this, Space Harrier, and one other game I forget are going to be at the bottom three. The only reason why this game is better than Space Harrier is because, well, you can actually play the game without your character obscuring the action. Like, you don't die in Splatterhouse because you can't see in front of you. But Splatterhouse, unfortunately, is a game where that's kind of common. It's gonna be Space Harrier is a game where you'll constantly die because you'll hit a projectile or an enemy you couldn't see coming because your character was obscuring the view. But we're going to talk about that another time. As a kid, Splatterhouse was the perfect example of the kind of game I always wanted to play because I kept seeing footage of this game in TV shows like Video Power and GamePro. Those were a syndicated video game series that came on in the early 1990s, before YouTube and before PewDiePie and all that crap. You had this. You would get footage of people playing games like this, which looked way better than what I had on my Atari 2600 and my NES. Look at the size of the sprite. 10-year-old me was, actually it was like 12-year-old me, was blown away by the fact that a video game could have a sprite this big on a home console. In the arcade, you kind of expected this. But at home, seemed kind of impressive. This is before Final Fight, before Street Fighter 2 on the Super NES. Like, the idea of having a character like this on an NES game, the only game that comes to mind would have been a Styanax on the NES. We'll get to that in a second. You pick up weapons off the floor. Some weapons can only be used a certain number of times, whereas other weapons can be used indefinitely. Weapons cannot be taken to new stages, so it's basically like Final Fight. Although this game is not a brawler, don't even get me started on that. It's a hack and slash game. It's basically like Ninja Gaiden with less platforming. In fact, I mean, how would you describe this game? It's a platformer. It's a bog standard platformer where all you do is jump and use your melee attacks. That's pretty much all it is. There's like 100 games on the NES that are just like this, with moderately better controls, I would argue. But we'll get to that later. It's not a platformer. It's mainly just a hack and slash game. I'll hold the down direction, press X to kick. Perform a flying kick. You can do a jump kick. When you jump diagonally, which means you jump backwards or forwards. If you hold down and press A just before you land, you do a sliding kick, which apparently is a speedrunner's trick. I didn't know you could do that. You could probably do it in the TurboGrafx-16 version. I'm not sure. The game didn't come with a manual. I didn't feel the need to read the manual before I played it because the game wasn't really that interesting. It didn't seem particularly sophisticated anyway. Jump diagonally, then hold the... Yeah, we already established that. Some stages have routes that branch. There is a bit of... I guess it's kind of an outrun thing. Purple mist will appear when you stop proceeding through the stage. So basically, it's a hurry up button. Like, it's a hurry up mechanic where you remember this is an arcade game. You can't dilly dally. You can't go to the bathroom. You can't pause. You got to make that money. So you got to kill people unless they keep moving forward, like a Pixar movie, I guess. Each stage progresses through, etc. and so forth. You're out to save your girlfriend, of course, because why else would you do anything in a video game? The mask wears houses an ancient spirit. Whatever. He gets a mask and he becomes even more buff than he already is, I guess. Yeah, that's all you need to know how to play. So that's how you play the game. That's how you play Splatterhouse. It isn't terribly complicated. Again, as a kid, I used to watch footage of this game on GamePro and Video Power TV on the Video Power TV show. It was only like 30 or 40-second clips of the game. There were no Let's Plays of games like this. You were just meant to see like a minute of footage tops. And again, a game like this is sort of easy to sell. Because this is the early 1990s, you're playing this, and you're thinking, okay, you can't play a game like this on the NES, can you? Ow. That hurt. See, again, why do I even want to use a weapon? My fists are way faster. That was my sliding kick. I should be able to cancel that. Ow! I have a meaty punch. That is kind of weird. It sounds like I'm banging on some bars. Clong, clong. Whoops. Sometimes they attack low. I'm not dead. Okay, now I'm dead. I somehow avoided those spikes. So the music's in stereo. I guess that's something to do. I guess that's something to be excited about. Clonk. So why should I even pick up a weapon? I mean, okay, you get to splatter enemies on the back wall. That's kind of a nice effect. That's the kind of gimmicky-ness I'm talking about. Again, in 1990 on a Genesis or a TurboGrafx, that's a major selling point. Like this. That was the reason you wanted to play the game when you were a kid. The ability to do that. Like, you had NES games that were like... Whoops, forgot about that. I can just run past these guys, right? They just run past these guys. Screw that. Okay. So on the NES, you could probably play games like Astyanax, which had big sprites for an NES game. Yeah, I forgot what the trick was for these guys. Ew. Attacked by giant bloody sperm. They're leeches, obviously. GamePro had a tip for this part. I think they were like crouch and stay near one of the corners, I guess. It's working. Yeah, it's working. Ah, got me. Ah! Bastard! Alright, see, that was a good trick, but... Jump scares. I should have known something like that was coming. We're not... Well, let me see what happens if I continue. Otherwise, I'll just restart. Okay, I'm just going to start from the beginning anyway, so screw that. I'm not scared of this game, but... Like, it's not that hard, but... It lulls you into a stupor, if we're being honest. When I played the TurboGrafx-16 version of this game, I called it a blunt blow to the brain. Because it's basically what you just saw. Like, if there's nuance to it, there's not much nuance to this game. You can speedrun it, obviously, but there's not a whole lot of strategery to the combat in this game. Like, this is the game. And it gets a little more complicated later, and that enemies keep coming at you from different angles. But the pacing of the game isn't really that big of a deal. Hit it over the slime. Whoops, that was bad. Not exactly precision platforming here. One was gonna attack me low, right? I guess in a way this game's kind of like Castlevania, because you walk into a building with your girlfriend and she gets kidnapped. You know? Although technically you weren't saving anyone in Castlevania, were you? Yeah, you weren't saving anyone in Castlevania. You were just walking in trying to kill Dracula, you know what I mean? So yeah, you walk into a creepy house. I made it. So you walk into a creepy house, you kill a bunch of creepy enemies. You know, that's pretty much the vibe. Although, let's be honest, Castlevania has class. This game is just, you know, this game is just meaty and dumb. This game is just, it's a meathead game, for what it's worth. That's a vibe I can understand if you were like me and you were a 12-year-old. Like I said, I always wanted to play this game. I mean, I never liked the theme of the game. Because I was never really into horror movies like that. I wasn't really into splatter movies like that. I have family members who were, though. But as a kid, I just wanted to play a game with really large sprites. And this seemed like my vibe. Like, it looked like a really interesting game, but as I played as an adult, I realized there's not much to it. Ow! Come on! That was the safest way to play these guys, right? That was the most tactically effective maneuver, right? Ow! Bastard. Ah! Got behind me. Here comes the last one. Bastard. Not getting me that time. So yeah, that's the game. I mean, yeah, like you can't like grapple. I mean, this isn't a brawler. You can't grapple enemies. Most enemies don't take more than one hit anyway. It's just a hack and slash game. There were millions of them on the NES. This one just looked better. And that was the vibe, really. Like, it's this really claustrophobic game where there were no platforms to jump on. Didn't know I could pick that up. That was a temporary weapon, I guess. See, why even bother picking up a weapon? Just use your fist. They're way faster. Ow. These are like the dropping spike. These are like the dropping spike platforms in Castlevania. You can crouch turn in this game. Slow down in an arcade game. Ah. So yeah, it's like those dropping spike platforms in Castlevania 2. They're in Castlevania 1 too. They're in Castlevania 1 as well. Hooray. So really, again, I'm just playing this game to kind of establish, so I can get some footage to compare this to the TurboGrafx version. Obviously, if you want the definitive video that explains in excruciating detail all the major differences, even some of the minor differences between this arcade game and the PC Engine port, Digital Foundry has a more in-depth video about a game I have no interest in playing anymore. I think that's like a 40-minute video about a game I could never play for more than 15 minutes. I mean, God bless Digital Foundry. God bless John Lindemann and those guys. Like, they will spend half an hour talking about some absolute freaking garbage and just finding value in, like, the technical aspects of converting a game like this to a 8-bit console like the PC Engine. Ow! Stupid. Out the way. See? Slow down. And you can't crawl in this game. You can slide, but you can't crawl. So keep that in mind. That was dumb. So some enemies take more than one hit. But it's not like Final Fight 1 where you're like piling up damage on guys and throwing them across the screen for like that was one of the things that no one, like, it's considered like basic stuff now, but Final Fight was doing like really sophisticated screen management in that game, like Ninja Saviors, Ninja Warriors in the arcade was okay. It's kind of dumb, but the Super NES game pretty much made that a substantial video game. Like, they said, look, let's turn Ninja Warriors into like a Street Fighter 2 Final Fight clone, basically like a Final Fight clone. Like, we're gonna make the moves more. Did I die? Wait, did I die? Okay, no, I'm supposed to go there. All right. This is auto scrolling. This can't go well. We're not picking up crap. You don't care. Uh-oh, yeah, I gotta jump over the spikes again. Here's your platforming, kids. Precision platforming. I guess it's supposed to give you the impression that you're you're stuck in a current, so it's auto-scrolling for that reason, because you're constantly moving forward. Hey! How was I not making contact that one time? Okay, just a second. Five hearts. I'll take that. I do think the sound effects are actually not bad. All the thwonking and the donking that your weapons make when you make contact with the enemy is kind of amusing. Again, I don't see the point of even using the weapons. I mean, they're stronger, but most enemies go down in only a couple of hits anyway, so it's usually not a huge deal. Like in Final Fight, if you got like a pipe, you were significantly extending the range of your attacks, like significantly. And some weapons were fast enough so that they were reasonable replacements for your fists. Like if you were playing as Hagar and you had a pipe, you were doing damage way more consistently, because you were just faster if you were swinging a pipe with Hagar. And of course, if you were Cody and you knew what you were doing, you could keep that knife in your possession. And if you had a sword with Hagar or Cody, you were doing a lot of damage. Like, you were eating well. But here it just feels like the melee weapons are barely give you any more reach than your normal punches or kicks. It's just a different way to interact with the enemies. And again, most enemies go down with one hit. But it's just, they just aren't. I just don't think they're as fast as your fists. I don't really trust them, if I'm being honest. I don't think I want to slide here. And remember, when you're midair, your first attack is a kick. Every subsequent aerial attack is a punch. Ow! 2 dumb hits. And the punch doesn't have enough reach, so it's safer to like do a jump kick, because you're out of the enemy's melee range temporarily. Okay, I remember this boss fight. So I do have a save point here. But this boss fight's really annoying, because you can't dodge most of that early on. You just kind of have to hope you're in a safe spot. Ow! Heads up! Ah! Crap. Is it 4 hits? No. Got it. Uh-huh. Oh, That's why I hate this boss. I swear to God. That's why I hate this boss. Where's the rewind button? I do have a save spot here if I need it. Which I'll probably end up using, if I'm being honest. Because I never liked this boss. I managed to beat it earlier when I wasn't recording commentary. Or I was, but I lost my footage. What are you going to do? Ow! Ow! Bastard. That was easy. So I guess this is the much easier strategy than the one I was using prior. Oh, come on! I hate this boss, I swear to God. So basically after this, a chandelier drops on your head. Like, just don't get me started. Where's my save spot? So I'm skipping this boss. It drives me up the freaking wall. So yeah, this boss just drives me up the freaking wall. I got sick of having to do that multi-stage boss fight multiple times. See, I always thought that was a cute touch. Hey! I can only shoot while I'm standing. Again, you explain it. Just redonkulous. So I might as well continue, I guess. Again, that's the kind of game this is. It has some appeal in terms of the pacing of the game compared to the PC Engine version, but it's just too janky. The controls are way tighter than on the PC Engine version. There are a lot of nice little touches, but for the most part, it's a really janky game. Nice. Let me tell you about that Doom shotgun. See, again, I just think that your fists are more reliable. Those guys are one-hit kills. Nice transparency effect, by the way. All right. See? Never pick up anything in this freaking game. See? One freaking rock. Ow! Bastard. Bunch of dumb hits. No parallax here. It's kind of disappointing. Excuse me. Hey! Jeez. A lot of that in this game, unfortunately. It's not exactly spandex tight. It's more like an ill-fitting bodysuit. Suck it. One friggin' rock. Ow! One friggin' rock. That's kind of game this is, really. I thought Last of Us was stingy with the extra strategy and mechanics. Ow! I'm always amazed that people will defend, like, a lot of really bad game design principles based on narrative reasons. Forget ludonarrative crap. Ow! No fair double jumping. Hey! So I was able to corner trap that guy earlier. I was doing pretty well against him. When I was first playing this game, I was able to corner trap him with a bunch of punches, and that seemed to work pretty well. Purple haze showed up already, huh? I guess that rock is only there to be thrown at this one guy. Hey! Give me that. Missed one. Okay, here it comes. Hey! It's like a B-tier fighting game. Like Street Fighter 1. So we'll try one more time. I'm about ready to bail on this game. Again. But I was willing to record some extra footage that got lost when I accidentally deleted it. Hey! Okay, now here comes the purple haze. Let's go. Get me. Does he get to keep the shotty? Careful. Alright. Wasted 2 bullets on that. Waste another one. So I guess those guys are just there to make me get rid of the shotgun. I mean, I guess I could try to take them out. I guess I can try to jump over them. I don't know. Or I guess I could do the slide. Maybe that would work. I don't know. Hit me. Alright, now I got my bullets. Let's go. 8 bullets, yo. Hit me. No fair with the purple haze. Not dead yet. Come on! Come on! What? What was that? Probably got to save my games. Probably got to save the game right here to get past this doofus. Stupid video games. That was a waste of a rock. Kind of like The Last of Us. I mean, why should I be able to handle a brick and a bottle at the same time? In a game made in 2016. Or was it I think it was 2014, actually, when Last of Us 1 came out. Come on! See? Now it's supposed to jump kick to keep... Okay, enough. So we'll back out, we'll do the challenge mode. This is driving... Okay, again, I'm not interested. I'm giving it a chance, but I'm not interested in just having to spend another minute and a half trying to get back to the one spot where I died. Not interested in that. Like, I know it's a thing that people do when they play old video games, because that's how we was raised back when we got spanked with belts and switches and brushes. This is how we learned. Suffering through repetition, because we didn't know any better. So we're going to start here on level 5 for the challenge mode. Unlimited lives, but we're going to die a lot. It's a challenge mode. Chairs go down 2 hits, unlike the boss fight. I think they took 4 or 5. Let's beat it. So that part was easy. Can't save here, just so you know. Can't save here. This part's really annoying, because there are slopes here, and you're not supposed to fall inside the pits, so... You'll die a lot here, unfortunately. Because you have to work on your timing. Stupid. See? So there are slopes here, so you have to kind of fight the slopes, so you're sliding down when you don't want to, so it's really annoying. Because it throws off the timing of your jumps. Because the hands are there too, mucking things up. Okay, so you have to accept the fact that's a safe jump if you don't jump kick. Yeah, you have to accept... Let's see, I thought that was a safe jump. It wasn't, so I lost 3 hits there. See? So the only way to get through it is, I think, to just kind of just jump ahead and take the cheap hit. There's probably a safer way to do it. I don't know what it is. Again, imagine if you didn't have unlimited lives here. So it all comes down to the timing of your jump. You gotta wait till like the last possible second. Like, it's really bad. Yeah, I thought that was a safe jump. See, I thought it was a safe jump. I made that jump several times in the past, but I'm just getting thrown off. My timing keeps getting thrown off. So I was trying to figure out where the safest spot is to jump. It's not as bad as the Turbo Tunnel and Battletoads, but it's pretty bad. So I can't jump early. Because if I take the hit, I fall backwards. It's really bad. Come get me. Yeah, you can't punch because you'll slide backwards. Yeah, it's the timing. It's the timing that throws everything off. It drives me nuts. I'm never going to play this ever again. So I'm just revisiting how miserable I was the last time I played through this part of the game. Again, imagine if you only had 1/4 to get through this. Like, just learning how quickly you'll die trying to learn this part. I made it! Wow! So I guess there's a double jump I need to make at some point. Ah! Dumb hit. That was a bad attack. That was a bad jump kick. Can I jump over this? Yes, I made it. Okay, this is different. You can either go down to the sewers, you can take the high road, which is what I'm taking now. It's the first time I've ever seen this part. That was a terrible gauntlet we just went through. Hey! Stupid. I like the idea of having multiple paths. Maybe one's less monotonous than the other one. Ow! Hey! This game. This freaking video game. Oh, now, okay. So I didn't die. Just finally fell into the sewer. Like, again, it's kind of like Castlevania Rondo of Blood, right? Multiple paths. Wow! That sucked. That sucked. Wow. You have no air control, really, during your jumps. You have very little air control. Yeah, it's not as bad as Ghouls and Ghosts, but it's pretty bad. Ow. Made it. Bye. Garbage, really. Well, this is it. Hold on. This might be the final boss. No, it's not. This is where I died last time. Hey! Hey! Okay, a bunch of that. Like I said, just a bunch of that. Now, if this game were more like Street Fighter 2, like if this game were more like X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, yeah, it would be a lot better. But you have to like commit to like getting the mechanics right, like getting the collision boxes right, and getting the move set right, and getting those invincibility frames right. You know what I mean? Oh, he brings them back. Okay, that's what's going on. Okay, time up. Okay. Again, all that sucked. So, if the PC Engine port was a D+, I'm giving this one a C-. The control's a bit tighter, so I'll give it that. But yeah, it's still incredibly repetitive and simplistic. I'm not a fan. Very few tactical considerations here. It's just kind of a really simplistic side-scrolling hack and slash game. Really, not really interested. Okay, so I'm recording this with my. I recorded this particular video with my Skull Candy earbud headphones. The first half of the video through stage 1 was recorded with my Scotia earbuds into an audio splitter into the J5 Create USB-C capture device, into a quad-core Windows 10 laptop with a Windows 10 camera app, capturing this footage at 60 frames a second, 720p. So if I had to rate all these other games, okay, hot take: Splatterhouse is better than Pac-Man. Can I say that? Is that fair? Like Pac-Man, okay, maybe it isn't fair. Pac-Man isn't a bad game, in the sense that it's like a D game because there's no real depth to it, but it's like, it's a game I don't want to play for more than 5 minutes. That's my review of Pac-Man. It's influential, but it's not something I would ever want to play for more than a couple of minutes. Like, if it's sitting in an arcade, I would never play it. And if someone gave me a quarter and told me to play Pac-Man, I would play it and then lose all my lives and then never play it ever again. Galaga's a lot better. Dig Dug, is Splatterhouse better than Dig Dug? Dig Dug isn't broken, but it's not a game I would play for more than 5 minutes. It's better than Pac-Man, I guess, because there's more to it, like with the whole, with the falling rocks bit, and you know, the whole making the maze yourself. So there's a bit more variety to the way you can play the game, I guess. But I'm not really digging that. Tower of Draga is just terrible. Sky Kid's like C tier. It's fine. For a game this old, it's not bad, but I would play it for like 15 minutes. I did. I played it for about 15, 20 minutes. It's fine. And I'm willing to play through it multiple times to get better at it, but it is what it is. It's a C tier game. Rolling Thunder is probably my favorite game in the collection so far. I'll keep playing that. I'll go back and play Galaga 88 eventually. This game seems legit. Like a C tier, like a C+ tier legit vintage 1980s video game. Splatterhouse, it's a C-. Tank Force seems good. I'll come back and play more of this. Like, it's a C plus, B minus. Like, keep in mind, this game came out in 91. So, this game came out after Final Fight. And before, this game came out like the same year as Street Fighter 2. So, understand that before you don't be too generous to Tank Force. Because it looks and plays like a game from the early 80s or the mid 80s. Because it's a game that came out after Street Fighter 2, or the same year as Street Fighter 2. So if this game were sitting in the arcade next to Ninja Turtles and Final Fight and Street Fighter 2, 0% chance I would have played this game. But the Ninja Turtles arcade game is legitimately bad. I have a video on this channel where I play both arcade games. They're both mediocre, but the second game has a bit more in terms of like meat on its bones. But it's an extremely sloppy, janky arcade game. Well, watch those videos. I gave both games a fair shot. Rolling Thunder 2 I'll get around to playing eventually. It's probably going to be my favorite game in this collection. Because I played a bit of it on the emulator back in the day, back in the late 90s. But I never played the official version on the Genesis. I played the Genesis ROM back in the late 90s. But I'll come back and play that later. But yes, Splatterhouse is just bad. But I'm going to say it's better than Pac-Man. Fight me.